Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a screenwriter's rant on How to Please a Woman, a very strange movie, which really is more of a comedy than I think anything else, but it's billed as a drama. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out the books. The links are in the description. Little Joan's getting treats every day thanks to you, so thanks for supporting the channel. Now, let's analyze this. How to Please a Woman. It starts off with like this older lady who, you're not that old, but she's Hollywood old, right? So she's like in her 40s or looks like she is, and her friends for some reason send a gigolo to her house because I guess she's divorced and hasn't had it in eons, or she's got a troubled marriage, and because here she is, I assume with her husband, and things aren't going well. She doesn't feel sexy. Then she gets fired. And when the sex worker comes to her house, she tells the guy to clean her house, which, feels more amusing than it does dramatic. So I guess he cleans the house, but then later she starts a business where she hires the guys to clean women's houses and have sex with them. So I guess she had sex with him too. So she starts a business, essentially a brothel, in which male gigolos come to your house, clean your house, and then bang you under her instructions. So, I mean, that to me is a comedy. But if you're going to treat it seriously like a drama, it's, I always say, like, just reverse the genders on this, and would it be that funny? I mean, it's essentially Ace Bigelow, but with like an English bent, and more of a what the hell was that movie? I want to say Bridget Jones's Diary, like one of those type of movies where it's okay because women are doing it. It's not that she's sleazy and being a pimp. She's being empowered because she's running the men who have sex with all the women. I guess. I mean, it's kind of like on the lines of like the full Monty. I mean, she's essentially pimping these guys out. Now, as a libertarian, I have no problem with that. I mean, I think prostitution should be legal, but I don't. I think it's a comedy. It's weird that they bill it as a drama. Are they so afraid of comedies that they're not? And it's not going to be it doesn't look very hilarious, let me be honest. It just looks amusing, kind of in the way that women would find it amusing because it's so not true. Written and directed by Renee Webster. I wonder if she stars in it too. No, she doesn't. It feels like, oh, it's Australian. It's not English, it's Australian, my bad. Didn't recognize the accent. Not sure if it's legal in Australia. I don't think it is. It didn't seem like it was from the trailer, because at some point they pull all the boys in and it seems like they're arresting them. I mean, it looks like a harmless enough movie. I think it'll play well in Australia, where at least I think the wokeness hasn't really infiltrated relationships as hard down there, is my sense, although they're in the lockdown, so who knows? Like, who the hell could even go see a movie in Australia right now? I guess they're easing the restrictions just in time for everybody to re-elected. I wouldn't re-elect anybody in Australia right now. But it does say a Renee Webster film. Oh, right, because she's the writer and director, but not one of the actors. Right. Yeah. I mean, it looks mildly amusing just because I find it a ridiculous premise. They've tried, out in Las Vegas, they tried to have, a male brothel, and it just didn't work. There wasn't enough customers. I wonder why there weren't enough customers. As the saying goes, women control the sex, men control the relationship. That's kind of the way it goes. So, yeah, they don't need to pay for it. They really don't. Even women like her, like, she's not that bad looking. She's not bad looking. And there are a lot of thirsty guys out there, especially these days. So, but it's, kind of an amusing concept. Yeah, they clean the house. I don't know if you could sustain it for 90 minutes. I mean, it seems very mild, right? It seems like mild laughs. It seems like not even Sex in the City laughs. Sex in the City could be pretty funny every once in a while. It was big. This seems very sort of quirky indie film. So first act, I guess she complains about her sex life to her friends, and then it's her birthday, so they buy her a gigolo, and she says to him, clean the house, and then I guess has sex with him too, which would be weird. Like from a creative standpoint, I think, it would have been funnier if it was like, women. I think it would be more realistic if women just hired the guys to clean the house and look really sexy, and then the guy leaves, and then they just get themselves off, right? Not that they actually have sex with a total stranger. That would be like almost too much for this kind of service, I think, but maybe not. So, and then the second act, of course, she gets fired, and she's desperate for money, so she comes up with this idea. So she contacts the guy she, I guess, banged, and says, hey, how would you like to work for me? I'm going to be your pimp, essentially. And I guess it's still illegal. I mean, maybe somebody from Australia can tell me, is prostitution illegal in Australia? I know in the UK, they're not really prosecuting it, right? I think that's the deal. It's like, you can do it, but you can't advertise it, something like that. Some weird rule like that. A lot of places are doing that. I don't know why they just don't legalize it and make it safe, but so the second act, she does this thing, and it gets out of control, and she gets rich, but then it all comes crashing down, and then she, I don't know, falls in love with a man, and it's about, I don't know, people having a lot of sex, and women having a lot of sex, I guess. I mean, I don't really understand the point of this movie unless it's comedy. Like, comedy, I get it. Like, is it Ace Bigelow, right? Ace Bigelow? The Rob Schneider series. I think they did 3 movies of that. Like, I get it. That's funny, right? He has sex with a bunch of women who aren't particularly attractive, and that's the whole joke of the movie. And this is sort of the opposite of that, where you're not making fun of the women, per se. You're making more fun of the situation, which is, it's going to be lighter and quirkier. It's also Australia, which is culturally different. But as a message, like, I don't understand the message here. I don't understand what it would be at the end. Would it be like, yeah, you know what? To solve your relationship's problems, go have a lot of sex with total strangers. Seems like bad advice. Go have sex with a prostitute. Like, again, reverse that, and it becomes a little darker, right? So imagine if the gender roles were reversed here. It was like a guy, yeah, I'm really depressed, and their friends send over a hooker. First off, his reaction wouldn't be like, oh yeah, can you clean my house? It'd be like, oh, okay. Or it'd be like, no, I'm not having sex with a hooker because that's too dangerous or whatever, but who knows. And then it would be, he gets fired, and like, well, I could be a pimp. I could get some girls and turn them out. So, I don't know. Would I see this movie? Nah, it's not for me. It's aimed at women. This is for mild laughs for older women to go, ooh, imagine I did that. Ooh, oh, Gladys, you're so funny. Oh, you're funny. And, and then he drinks some wine and watch the movie or whatever. So, ladies, here it is. Another movie for you. How to Please a Woman. That's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check out our Rumble and Bitchute channels for Hollywoke Hot Take and a News Blast. We'll see you in the next one.